just like every entrepreneur, it's a story of consistency, it's a story of doggedness. When you see success is built on pillars,
Right.
you must understand how it works. I didn't study marketing, I learned it from the street. The street taught me marketing, right? So I've started like 6 businesses. Money is not capital. Money is not. It's here. It's your head. Again, I believe every disappointment is a blessing. That's one thing you should take as an entrepreneur. Whenever you get cheated or whenever you feel cheated, right? Genuinely, maybe God is giving you a divine redirection. The talk when you get to the board meeting for $1 billion is different from when you are in the board meeting for $1 million.
Welcome again to the King Edosa show. Today we have with us Dr. Simon Adozillion, the Chief Executive Officer for the Adozillion Homes and Realty. He's also the Secretary General for the Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria. He's one of the founders of Real Estate Millionaires, a real estate brokerage firm in Nigeria. He's the man behind the brand, the Mufasa apartment. So sit back and enjoy his very inspiring entrepreneurial journey. Thank you. First, we'll start off by saying that, can you share with us your entrepreneurial journey, how you started and how you get to this point?
All right. So, just like every entrepreneur, it's a story of consistency, it's a story of doggedness. It's a story of, people don't like talking about it's up and down, actually. Right. It's not a negative confession, but I think that's how life is. Life is some days you win, some days you almost win, right? So it just depends on the mindset that goes into that very particular day. Okay. So my entrepreneurial journey I would say it started from Benin City, right? Okay. From when I was maybe 5, 6 years old. Okay. Yeah. When my mom would put a tray on my head to go hawk. Yeah. And every morning I could remember from primary 2, every morning when I had to hawk a camel, you know. I did that up to XS2, you know. So from a camel, you know, when I come back in the evening, I'll have to hawk plantain or tomatoes or do all that. So I learned this from the street, actually, you know. So back then, I also remember that we have competitors because we live in an area whereby you are not the only one selling. So how do you quickly sell out so that you come back to get ready and go to school because you're timed? So, and you know what the situation was at home, right? So you cannot go and not sell and still come back happy. No, because you know what the situation is. So my mind has been programmed for this entrepreneurship journey right from when I was small. So people say I do a lot with marketing, and I'm like, I didn't study marketing, I learned it from the street. The street taught me marketing, right? So back then, young, you know, I have some cousins, relatives that also sell the same thing. How do I outsell them? Okay. It's all that, yeah. So that's what started it. Then I went to school, studied engineering, which was a mistake. You know, was a mistake. So after studying engineering, came back, you know, I was the best graduating student, but engineering was not me. You know, I could stand and talk for 6 hours. There would be no engineering terms, right? So I just knew it wasn't for me. So after school, I didn't bother looking for a job. I came to Lagos, started mini importation business, you know, selling second-hand items, you know. That didn't go well because, I had to learn the rudiment of business. I literally would use out of pity to give out goods at a very cheap rate because people would be like, see, help me now, you know. So I was giving away my profits and in short, I used that business as charity. Let me put it that way. But there's a line. There was a line. So this was like in 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, started the mini importation business.
Okay.
You know, bringing used item, microwaves, fridges, all that from Germany and sell here. And it didn't go well because of exchange rate and all that. So that packed up. Now, one thing I didn't mention was that, so I've started like 6 businesses. When I was in school, I had a boutique called Mega Mind Boutique.
Okay.
When I was in school, I entered into partnership with Solar Global Partners Limited, which, you know, I just wanted to sell solar solutions. So I could remember I wrote about up to 500 proposals to local governments, then telling them that I want to solar power every local government in Nigeria. This was back when I was in school. When I was in school, I had an entertainment company that managed artists. So, and I was studying engineering. None of these things had anything to do with engineering. So, you know, all these things coming together, I just knew that I didn't waste my time looking for a job one day. No, I didn't. I didn't just waste my time. So fast forward to 2015. 2013 ended the importation business. 2013, 2014. 2015, I entered into a partnership with someone to deploy payment systems. So we were the one that literally came up with the idea of mobile, where you can use these mom and pop shops for as POSs. So then my vision was to turn every mom and pop shop that you see to a bank. Yeah, that I can just go withdraw money. So this POS business you saw, we're part of the pioneers of it right there in 2015. You know, I could remember that one of the criteria that CBN wanted to use to give us license was that we should at least have onboarded almost 5,000 of these mom and pops. So how, and it was my task to onboard these 5,000 people. How do I do that? How will I do that? I just, you know what, let me go to associations. I started going to mechanic associations, association of pharmacies, association of fashion designers, because those are the people that I established shops, or those were the people that their shops were established. And I was able to do 5,000 in less than 90 days.
Wow.
Right? So we moved on to the next stage, you know, 5,000 verified contacts, onboarded them, did website, did all that, gave them, you know, pushed that agenda, right? So when we got the license, the partnership didn't go well. Yeah, every promise that I was made, I never collected a salary for once, because the mindset was that we owned the business. Well, you know, it didn't go well, but that's a story for another day, and I think I've gone past that, right? Because again, I believe every disappointment is a blessing. That's one thing you should take as an entrepreneur. Whenever you get cheated, or whenever you feel cheated, right? Genuinely, maybe God is giving you a divine redirection. And that period was the time I found real estate. And the story changed. The story changed. It didn't change immediately, so that people won't think that I just found real estate and it changed. So I started real estate as a realtor. Got into it, but because I had this entrepreneurship mindset, so I got into real estate late 2017. Right, started selling real estate, made my first sale probably 2 weeks of, you know, starting out the business, because I mean, the first people you go to in any business is your family and friends. If they trust you, that means there's a little of God hand on it, because they are the worst people that would never believe in you when they do POS. You don't talk to real estate again. Are you sure you know what you're doing? So I started real estate late 2017. Well, studied the market 2018. 2018, I brought in a team of people that started Real Estate Millionaires, because I saw, you know, when you are an entrepreneur, you always spot problem in every system. So I saw that the realtors were scattered everywhere. Why don't we have a united front? Why don't we have, why do I have to, then when I wanted to register for a company, I saw like 14 forms. Why do I have to fill 14 forms to partner with a company?
Okay.
Why can't I just partner with
One
one company and I have 14 or 28 products or companies under their platform? So that was where I started discussing it with, you know, real estate minds then.
Right.
You get, and I think it was August 2018.
Okay.
You know, started, you know, we actually eventually formed Real Estate Millionaires.
Okay.
Yeah, which is REMS.
Right. Right.
And you know, brought in, did all the admin, you
Okay.
get, and all that, put that platform together,
Right.
made it as corporate as it could be, focusing on people, process, and products.
Okay.
Right. So it was the talk of town. It was everywhere. It went wild.
Right.
Recruitment was all that. Now, mind you, there was a time I recruited 5,000 people.
Okay. For POS.
POS.
Right.
That was the same strategy. That REMS. So that knowledge wasn't lost. So that was the same strategy that we used, and started Real Estate Millionaires, and it went like this. In less than 6 months, we're all over. You understand? Because I have learned administration somewhere,
Right.
you know, from a business that looked like a disappointment. So there is no actual disappointment. You have just learned a lesson. It is, you are building capacity. As long as you are not lazy, you are building capacity every day. As an entrepreneur, as long as you are not lazy, your mind is nimble enough to spot problems, you would find your big break. So we got to a point where Real Estate Millionaires grew the business. It was doing very well. Yeah. And we started, you know, noticing some other problems, which is, you know, we found out that we're middlemen, actually.
Right.
So if you make a promise based on your integrity, right, and the other person, on the other hand, that is supposed to deliver on their own part, which is a product part,
Right.
is not delivering or didn't deliver, it messes up the whole process.
Correct.
So that's a problem. So how do we find a solution to it? Let's dive into it. Let's do it end to end. Let's make it work. You know, by the time we were in REMS, I was advisor to real estate developers. But they will keep, you know, when you advise some of them, they'll be like, you are not in it. That's why you don't know what it means. But I'm like, it's not rocket science. It's that you receive money, use it for the purpose that you used it for.
Right.
I mean, I've done businesses and I've seen it's like that. Yeah. So I think it was late after COVID. 2020. In short, COVID was a redirection for me. I had time to go into myself and say, you are doing way too less than you could do. You have potential and you have capacity for more. So why not do more, right? So 2020 registered the business. Did we start operations immediately? No. One thing as an entrepreneur is that you must study your market. If you're entering a new terrain, there are leaders of that new terrain. You know, so I was doing networking for 8 months after registering the company. After registering the company, I was networking with developers so that I know what they go through, what's in your mind, how do you acquire product, what's the best. You know, I was networking with marketers because I want to know what the market is saying, what is the location, what is the best location, what is that, what is this. I was networking with Lagos Business School alumni because I attended Lagos Business School then. You know, I wanted to know the rudiment of running a business. This one is, I want to run a profitable and yet a business that delivers.
Wow.
So what do I need to do? How do I get corporate governance, accounting rights, management rights, recruitment, all these things? You must learn it as an entrepreneur. You must learn it. That was what was missing in my former importation business.
Okay.
It was just me, myself, and I.
Right.
You know, it was when I got to LBS that I sat with a lecturer and we were talking, and he said, tell me what you do in your business. And I said to him, this is what I do, this is what I do, this is what I do. He looked at me and said, oh, you're a portfolio business. I asked him, what does that mean? He said, because your business is in a portfolio. If anything happens to you and your portfolio, that business is dead. How do you establish structure? So it was a big deal. Yeah. So recruitment part of it was that I started looking for. He told me something. He said, "Do not recruit for where you are. Recruit for where you are going." Right. So what does that mean? It means you cannot afford to. Maybe it's 70,000 you can afford to pay comfortably.
Okay.
Do not employ people that you pay 70,000, because if you pay peanut, you rear monkeys. But I don't have the money. I don't have the capital. How do I pay people that? So it says spot your key guys. Project, accounting,
Okay.
and operations.
Okay.
How much do you want to pay these people? How much do you want to pay these people? I don't have money to pay them. I spoke to one that is a chartered accountant and that I know that he's doing well and all that. He said, my salary at the moment is 1.5 million.
Okay.
I said, come and work for me. You know, I'll pay you 100,000 naira. But this is where I'm going, this is where I'm going, this is where I'm going. He looked at me and he laughed and he said, I will come back to you. Okay. I spoke to the guy in charge of project, you know. He just came back from the UK as a project manager. He's an architect, you know, chartered and all that. And he looked at me. He said, "I've been running my father's construction company for the last 17 years. I started this since I was a teenager. You want me to leave all that and come work for you?" I say, "You are the right person. Let's work it together." You know, and the lady in charge of operations and all that. So those are the people that came on board the first day in Adozillion homes. Those were the people that came on board. So when you see success is built on pillars, right, you must understand how it works. If you don't get your recruitment right, you would literally be running a portfolio business. And that's one thing. I can go out of Adozillion for a year, 2, 3, and it will still run perfectly. Because I've learned to, you know, implore the power of collaboration inside an organization. So work for all of us to earn.
Awesome.
Work for all of us to eat. Right. Work for all of us to and you must be able to share a very good pitch with them, a very good vision, so that they will buy into it. So the rest, they say, is history. We did one of the fastest apartment buildings. You know, we started in one of the choicest locations. Right. Not like I didn't have the capital. I didn't have the capital. In short, the place we built Mufasa now, I went there more than 12 times. You know, I'll just go there, I'll sit in front of it, I'll look at myself, because my bank account is not looking like we can do it. Can we do a project? I've never done a high rise before. That is the first one. You know, it's you know, I just had to. You know, so the rest, they say, is history. And this is a journey of up and down, you know, literally sleepless nights and all that. So, well, we're where we are today. Awesome. If you also want your business to outlive you, you must have corporate governance in place. Capital, in its word, means knowledge. It's not money. There must be a vision before the provision. As an entrepreneur, it is dangerous to make all decisions yourself. It is dangerous. I've made some decisions I am not proud of. We do apartment building, land, and housing units. So we pride ourselves in the luxurious nature of our buildings. I did over 500 pitches when I wanted to start Mufasa. If I was waiting for money to start, none of my businesses would have been started today.
I know, like you've said, you're the Chief Executive Officer for Adozillion Homes and Realty. Tell us what you're doing at Adozillion Homes and Realty.
Okay. Adozillion Homes and Realty is a solutions company that is into construction. Basic construction, where we do apartment building, land, and housing units. So we pride ourselves in the luxurious nature of our buildings. And our buildings are located in one of the choicest locations right here in Lagos, Nigeria. And we will expand as the year goes by. So that's what we do. We are the developers of the famous Mufasa apartment building right there in Ikate. And A whole lot. We have projects in, we have the Monte Carlo Lagos Resort and Residence right there in Ekpe. That's a waterfront property. That's my Banana Island project. And we have Echo Valley Garden City, and we're about to introduce a new product right there in Bejuleki, purely residential and with all the amenities that you can think of. So that's what we do at Adozillion Homes at the moment.
Awesome. When we started, when you were sharing with us your entrepreneurial journey, you said a bit about Benin. Where are you from?
I'm from Edo State.
Oh, great.
Okay. Back, I look Igbo. People say I'm Igbo. Yeah, I'm from Edo State. I'm from the a car-speaking part of Edo State. Yes, definitely.
Where did you school?
I schooled primary, secondary in Benin City, then university in Enugu State.
What did you study?
I studied
engineering.
Yeah, I studied bioresource engineering. So purely soil and water.
Right.
Yeah, I specialize in soil and water. So whenever they are doing my piling, I'm looking at. I know how to interpret those figures. You know.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. You also mentioned LBS. You did something at LBS.
Yeah. So I've done quite some numbers of courses in LBS, corporate governance and management. I've done with EDC too. I've done SEM, entrepreneurship management. I've done owners managers program at LBS. I've done just enrolled for the LBA in Pan Atlantic University.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. So while you were talking about what you studied in LBS, you talked about corporate governance.
Yeah.
For an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Right. Could you teach or enlighten us about the importance of corporate governance for an entrepreneur in growth and expanding their business?
So Adozillion Homes will be 3 years in October, officially as per anniversary.
Right.
Yeah. So we have a fully functional board, not advisory board. Fully functional board. Fully functional board in the sense that I have board meetings. I have, people that I report to. As an entrepreneur, it is dangerous to make all decisions yourself. It is dangerous. It is dangerous. I made some decisions I am not proud of as an entrepreneur in Adozillion Homes, right? I'm able to tell the other people that are working with me that, hey, listen, I'm the CEO. What I say holds. But there are times when you report to a higher authority, or when the thought that there is a higher authority comes into your head, you would scrutinize your own decisions. So that's the importance of having a corporate governance board. Then you cannot do anything in Nigeria without a corporate governance. If you also want your business to outlive you, you must have corporate governance in place. You must have people in your board. If you cannot afford it, get an advisory board. An advisory board is the person that you go to. It might just be 1 or 2 people. They'll just be there looking into your business, advising you on what to do and all that. But if you are big enough to handle it, get a board. I have a 7-man board, right? So it's just to make sure that in the board we have engineers, we have more finance people, because real estate is more finance than the brick and mortar that people see. It's all about calculation, 3 times 4 times 5 times 6, units and all that square meter. So it is, I have finance people, I have people in government, that are watching over us to say, no, the government is frowns against this. You cannot do this. It's against ethics and all that of the state that you live in. So that is why you should have a corporate governance. You don't know it all. If you are the smartest one in the room, you are not supposed to be in that room. As an entrepreneur, you are supposed to listen to smart people and help manage and direct them to solve a problem that you spot. That's what makes you a smart entrepreneur.
Awesome. In the course of our conversation so far, you've talked about finance. As an entrepreneur. Right. Most of the stories we hear often is capital, finance, capital, finance. What would you like to say to an entrepreneur, both upcoming entrepreneurs and those who are already there? How can they go about financing?
Okay. So when people say finance or capital, I think they are actually referring to money. But capital in its word means knowledge. It's not money. If I was waiting for money to start, none of my businesses would have been started today. So what you need is the knowledge. That's all. That's what capital is. And you already have it. Yeah, you have it in your brain. So, for example, I did over 500 pitches when I wanted to start Mufasa, pitching for investors. If I see you, I'll tell you I want to start a project that will be the talk of town, right? It will make money for his investors. The investors will be, any investor that didn't invest will wish that they invested when I told them. But I'll give you the opportunity because I don't need much people. I just need, 5 people that will give me 100 million. If you can believe me enough to give me 100 million, I would definitely turn that 100 million to 200 million in the next 12 months. Are you willing to take it with me? Let's discuss. The pitch is right in my head. I spoke this to over 500 people. Guess what? 5 people showed interest out of 500. Eventually, one person dropped money and never dropped up to the complete amount. And we still did it. You understand? I just needed that one person to believe and drop that small money that they dropped. That was all I needed. And before, in the course of all this, I wasn't lazy. I was also doing sales and marketing, consulting and all that. So, when it's time for something, doors will move open for you. So, favors from here and there and all that. But since, it's provision, there must be a vision before the provision.
Absolutely.
When the vision was clear and it was time, it's money. So when you, as an entrepreneur, or as a human being, because entrepreneurs don't think money first. So even in Adozillion at the moment, right, I do not see money in my account before I look for expansion. When we wanted to buy our land where we are building Mufasa Prime at the moment, it was a 650 million land. I'm not sure I had 65 million in my account when I told them to send the offer. It's like that. They know me in my organization that our silent core value or culture in Adozillion is audacity. We are audacious. Do we want it? Yes. Do we need it? Yes. Is it important? Yes. Let's go get it. That audacity to move, that audaciousness to say, that bold step, products that we acquired, we have never had the money before even because if I give you Millionaire right now, or 100 million right now, until your thought, can control 100 million, if I give it to you, you reduce it to what your thought can control. So when people say capital is money, I just look at them, you don't know what you're saying. Capital is what here? First here. That's why I could look at someone that is earning a 1.5 million and I say, come work with me, I'll pay you 100,000. And the person came. Why? He has seen that there is something in this person. So money is not capital. Money is not. It's here. It's your head. It's your clear vision, your articulate clear vision. How do you want to explain your vision to me? That's your capital. Your answer is there. So leave money. Money follows. You get. But first is a mental thing. It's not capital is not money. Capital is your light. How knowledge have come to your brain. If you take Adozillion from me today, nothing, don't give me anything. Give me a marker, give me a board, and lock me in a room. 3 months, I'll build 10 times the value of Adozillion because it's here. I don't need money. I just need what can give me strategy. As I'm seeing the vision, I'm articulating, I'm writing, I'm plotting to who to meet this, that's all. So I started a whole lot of other businesses apart from Adozillion. I am the group chairman for Shared Financials. It's a financial company because I have finance background. I sit as a chairman of some real estate companies because we're starting to empower people to. So instead of me to be everywhere as Adozillion Homes, I maintain the luxurious part of it. Let let me invest in a company that is already playing in the other mass
Areas,
sector.
right.
So that's what we did. Yeah. So that's then we have a tech company that is into software solutions and all that. So I'm beginning now to put all my thoughts and ideas. And none of these companies started with a capital. No, it's just thoughts and ideas. Collaborate. Find opportunity to collaborate. You can't do it alone. It is better for you to own 1% of a billion than own 100% of a billion. So I still have like maybe 600 million somewhere. I'm a spiritual person. Immediately you start growing, opportunities will start coming. And as an entrepreneur, if you are down and depressed, it's not the right time to make decisions. Try go out of the scene and try bring yourself back, because when you are born out, depressed and all that, that's where you are most likely to make the wrong decisions. Don't take a loan, especially not a structured loan. Don't take an unstructured loan.
So, briefly, can you share with us the inspiration about the brand
Mufasa? Okay, so I'm a spiritual person, and during that time, COVID, when it was time for us to move to the next stage, went to God and He said, "Go build for kings." So go build for kings. Okay, now. I can't call it King's Court.
Right.
I can't call it King's Apartment because these names have been taken.
Right.
Right. So what are the other names for kings? Hebrew. It might be hard for people to pronounce.
Okay.
Greek. There's nothing I didn't look for as an interpretation for king. So I know, Mufasa, Swahili, and it means kings, and it means king. Oh, okay. That's it. That's where it came. I almost called it Adozillion apartment. In short, I've designed flyer for Adozillion apartment. And I was just driving one day and it says Mufasa. Mufasa carries weight. And I see, at a critical point in my life, after that 8 months, I said I was studying, I was building relationships. My heart failed me. So I literally took time to watch Wildlife, and it was about the lion. The lion is not the biggest in the jungle. It's not the fastest. It's not the smartness. It's not the, but he's the most courageous to face. I mean, and anytime you want to start anything new, there are new devils. So I was fighting some devils, actually. You cannot just come into a territory and you expect them to hand it over to you. There are some giants that are gone ahead of you, right? There are some, right now we are competing with brands that have been around for 10, 20 years, and you expect them to let you leave. It's not possible. So you have to have the courage of a lion. That's why I told you that the underlying culture in our place is audaciousness. You must be audacious. We are lions. See, do you like the meal? What do you want to eat today, antelope? Go hunt it down. That's all. As fresh as we want it. You get. So when I get into a meeting on a Monday morning, and I ask them, I smell fresh meat. You understand? So we must hunt it down. This week, hey, we are not just eating. See, we've been eating antelopes. Let's eat buffalo. What's the buffalo in this case? Let's eat 500 million target. Yeah, I think that's a good. Out of 500 million, I'll give you a commission of this and that. You know what you can do with it, right? Or who wants to collect a car this week or this month end? That's what I tell my staff. Who wants to collect a car this month end? Facilitate transaction. Facilitate this amount. Let's go. Let's go your car shopping. You get. I put people on fuel. That my people around me, they burn. Because that's my job as a leader. Direct them, motivate them, and push them, and deploy them to get. So tomorrow, if they come to me and say, I want to do my own thing, trust me, I will invest in that business. I'll bless them because I know. Yeah. So that.
what I'd like you to share with us now,
Yeah.
what has been that most very critical challenge you faced in business as an entrepreneur? That very tough challenge you encountered that was.
So, real estate is dynamic. Real estate has a lot of money. The faster you grow, the more likely you are. There was times I didn't listen to my instinct, and I invested wrongly. So I still have like maybe 600 million somewhere. Wrong investment. It's usually like that. Wrong investment. Don't take a loan. Don't take a loan. Especially not a structured loan. Don't take an unstructured loan. You don't need it as an entrepreneur, right? If you resort to the fact that you have to take an unstructured loan, that means your business is not ready for it. Don't do it, right? So because immediately you start growing, opportunities will start coming. They call it opportunities, but know the one to take. Because not all. We've had some transactions that I don't think, looking back now, hindsight, those were my moments and as an entrepreneur, if you are down and depressed, it's not the right time to make decisions. Try go out of the scene and try bring yourself back, because when you are burnt out, depressed and all that, that's where you are most likely to make wrong decisions, right?
And finally, what would be that best advice you would like to give to entrepreneurs for business?
Try and collaborate. The power of one drop, it will take you time. But when you collaborate, you're using the power of many, right? People don't understand that there are also different. There's a difference between partnership and collaboration.
Okay.
Yeah, partnership means that if you earn, I earn.
Right.
Right. If you don't earn, I don't earn.
Yes.
Right. But collaboration means that we both earn together. If you earn, and I am not in it, I don't have a right over it.
Right.
You get, so it's two-edged sword. Just know the one to use at any particular point in time, right? Honestly speaking, partnership will burn you out, because most times you find out that someone is redundant in the partnership and someone is doing all the work 100%. It is most likely going to not end up well, right? But hey, nobody will see it from the part of the person that is doing it 100%. The other person will be like, I put money now.
Right.
Nobody will drop money. Do you get? It's not about the money. Yeah, it wasn't about the money. It's about the work. What are you putting in day in, day out? So it is usually like that, right? Especially with from this part of the world where we just want to latch on someone to say, hey, how far we don't make money. Who is we? So, but collaboration in the other end is like, before we get into, we have a business transaction that we want to do. It's 100%. You have 60. I have 40. Okay. Particular business. Right. You are not owning a share in my company. I'm not owning a share in your company. It's like two companies coming together to say, let's deliver on a particular SPV, special purpose vehicle. So let's get it done. So we do that and we are happy. We do another one, but collaborate. Find opportunity to collaborate. You can't do it alone. That's what I would advise every entrepreneur. It is better for you to own 1% of a billion than own 100% of a million. The talk when you get to the board meeting for a billion is different from when you are in the board meeting for a million. It's different. Communication is different. The thought, the mind is different. So go for that 1 billion.